Hello, everyone. Our Hoohacks 2022 project for the art and gaming track is the Haptic gaming mouse. So the question we came across was, how can we make PC gaming more immersive and accessible? And some of the inspirations that we found were handheld devices and other gaming consoles such as the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, providing great tactical feedback to its users. And in comparison, we found that the PC and mouse and gaming device market just really undersold in that division. And we found that to be very stale and underwhelming. So we are deciding to move into a tactical and haptic-based PC part project. And we also found that people and users who utilize gaming mice and keyboards for an extended period of time can develop carpal tunnel syndrome and other forms of health hazards that we are looking to minimize with this project.
So what our design does is we have a motor connected to a force sensor, which the user clicks on. And then depending on how hard they click, it'll send a feedback back to the user on their wrist. And so you can use this with any game, so like FPS or Minecraft. And this here is the circuitry. There's an LED that actually shows you if you're pressing too hard, and also sends a notification to you on Twilio through SMS text. And there's also other functions such as it can have power saving mode. So after it times out, after like about 2 hours-ish, it'll time out and then it'll just shut down automatically. And also it'll give you warnings about if you're have a possibility of having eye strain. So that'll also send to you through SMS text. All right, so for our hardware, we utilized an ESP32 microcontroller, which we found had more efficient energy consumption and internet capabilities. We have a force-sensitive resistor, which was implemented in the left-click area of our mouse, and values from our sensor are mapped to motor rotation speeds. And the step motor is attached to the back of the mouse using a custom-designed 3D printed mount. And as you can see, here are the values from mouse feedback from the force sensor and the corresponding notifications. For the IoT part of our project, as you just saw, we implemented an SMS service using Twilio's API and a microcontroller's Wi-Fi connection. Twilio waits for one of the conditions already described before sending an SMS notification from a Twilio number to the user's phone number.
Well, one of the biggest challenges that we found in our initial development was how we should power this device. Since we didn't have batteries that could provide the voltage that we were looking for with our stepper motor, we had to learn how to safely use and program a DC power supply. Additionally, we originally thought that our design was going to be just a haptic gaming mouse add-on, and we were going to use an Arduino Uno board just to get the physical, tactical feedback to the user. But later on, we decided to incorporate Wi-Fi functionality and make it an IoT device. With these IoT capabilities, we could talk to Twilio and get those SMS texts, as well as use an ESP32 board. We actually found that that board, compared to the Arduino Uno, was a lot less intuitive, and it actually caused a lot of issues that we had initially resolved with our hardware and software. So integrating that and kind of just working those challenges out actually turned out to be some of our biggest accomplishments, which we're really proud of. And for the future of this haptic gaming mouse, we plan to take inputs from the game itself. So if the player feels anything, the user will also receive kind of like a tactile feedback. So if they're getting shot at, if there's an explosion, any sounds or music from the video game itself, kind of translating those vibrations back into feedback is something that we're looking into. And also we want to implement a custom designed PCB or a printed circuit board and a more standardized or kind of an accessible power source in the future. And this would allow us to maintain a smaller form factor around the mouse. And this would just increase the portability, any functionality, and just make it much better for the user.